comes down through here and then goes around the frame and then back up this hole. Pretty nice and quiet, at least from where I'm working. A little bit of gold up there. All the way to the very bottom of the box. This mat doesn't impress me as far as fine gold recovery. It's like, at best, 80%. And then I've just been leaving this run empty for a little while. And I know it loses when you do that, so put a tub here. Of course, gold goes into the tub and then hops down into the river. But it's worth it just to reduce the cleanup a little bit. I'm gonna pan what's in that tub just to get a rough idea of what I'm losing when it's running empty for about 5 minutes, and then do a cleanup. So from running the tub, just oodles of gold. This is just 5 minutes of running. Not even 5 minutes actually. And there's just so much more in all the rest of that black sand still. I think that even that micro beach stream mat, it's just too aggressive. I've been running it quick, I've been running it slow. Yeah. I find if you keep feeding it, it doesn't lose quite as much, and I'm still catching a good chunk in the box, but I'm just not sure if I'm okay with 20% losses. Kind of just have some of this going on. This corner is kind of lifting up and I'm getting rocks underneath. So if you look in here, there's some bigger rocks, which we don't like to see. But where are we looking here? Right there. Gold in the mat. All the way down actually. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not sure how well this will show up, but much tiny little flecks, and then it drops down into the box here and hits the top row of Dream Mat. And a cool view. Let's have a look at that. This is bottom. Now, that right there, it's a good chunk of gold. And it's become visible because I let it run for a little while, but if it's getting to here, it's also going down to that one, and then it's also dumping out the bottom of the box. I have a feeling that if my calculations are about right, which is I'm keeping maybe 80% of the gold, it explains why a lot of the guys that run this stuff will have a second box and even a third box. You wouldn't have a second box if the first one caught it all. That is understandable. I have a really small sluice. It's only 3 feet of recovery, 3.5 foot long sluice. There's room for improvement. I'm doing this because over here, that's a seadoo. And as we all know, can't fit so much in the back of a seadoo, but hopefully I'm losing more than I would get if I was at home doing nothing. Time for the cleanup. Oh, I'm going to start with this one up here. I don't think I'm going to pan this out, but I'll throw it into the bucket and see what's in there. Just one more fun little video here. Here's as my tailings head out. You just have a little look at the tip of my finger. Lots of gold. Lots of gold. Lots of gold. Maybe I need a longer box. Or a different mat. I should just stop complaining and actually do something about it. And there's your gold in the box. Looks better when it's in the box. Makes me feel happier. On the first night of a 3-day trip, the sun actually broke through the clouds for about 2 hours, and I was able to take advantage and make my very first campfire of the year. But then it was back to reality. Just shoveling away, living the dream. Apparently there will be about 65 millimeters of rain over the next day and a half. Plenty of work getting done. So I was having another conversation with a frog, and I says to him, I says, "Ribbit," and he says to me, he says, frogs in general don't seem to talk much. Gold mining. Woo! Well, apparently that steam's just come out under my rain gear. Getting showed off by the light. Just had a heck of a time digging. The river decided that it was going to go down. We were looking upstream. Sorry about the focus here. There we go. So I'll continue my little story. Basically, we saw that the dam upriver had a little low water section coming up, and we saw that there was some nice gold right down by the water's edge. Not here, just trying to find where I left all my stuff. But anyways, right down by the water's edge there was some nice gold, but it was underwater. And we figured maybe we could actually get to it when the river went down. So as we saw the water starting to drop, we were trying to guess, how long it would take for the low water to get to where we were. Yeah, it's late at night and I'm a little bit lost, bumbling around a gravel bar. I don't think there's anything I've left out that will get taken away if the water comes back up. I don't even know why I'm filming right now. Got like 100 shovels in, just got pitch black. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Gold is a little bit better down there, but not significantly, so I guess everything's picked up. I'm just gonna hike over to the sluice box here. I'm kind of pointing the phone down because you can't see anything if I point it up. And I'm also using it as a flashlight to walk. But I've got a test pan here and a test pan here that both lined up nicely. So got all my stuff just laying around here in a pile. And hopefully tomorrow morning I can wake up and it won't be pouring rain, but it probably will. So I'll just put on all my warm clothes and plumb up the old pump to the sluice box and try to get some digging in before it's time to drive home. Alright, bedtime. Well, it's a little bit miserable in here. Basically, they call this a 2-man tent. I've had it forever. Perfect 1-man tent. You get a little bit of room to move around, but it's nice and light, and especially for Sea-doo gold mining, it needs to be nice and light. Problem is it's no good in the rain. I mean, most tents are no good in the rain, but in this case, I've got, see if I can show you what's going on here. I've got my pants attempting to, you can see just how soaked they are. I had rain pants on, but you still get wet inside. Just condensation and stuff. So they're cool and damp. I'm trying to hang those up a little bit because those are essentially my pants. Luckily I've got a pair of long johns here. They're baggy and loose and dry. And I had one spare t-shirt. Typically when I pack for a trip like this, I'll wear the same t-shirt every day when I'm mining, and it's a technical, there it is, technical t-shirt like this. So it's a comfortable fabric, good for the UV protection, and it dries really quickly. If in the middle of the day it's not raining, I'll go for a swim and just wear the shirt. It's laundry time. But when I go to bed at night, I'll have a nice dry pair of socks, and I like to have a layer like these long johns on my legs, as well as a fresh cotton t-shirt. And sometimes I'll wear that cotton t-shirt to bed and then wear it the next day. I've just been wearing this one, so luckily the cotton t-shirt I wore to bed last night, it was kind of cool and clammy feeling, so I had this spare one, and oh, I don't know why I do what I do. But I certainly appreciate the running water. I had to pump water today, and with the river being high, it's just, you get about 1.5 liters through the pump, and then the filter's just plugged and you gotta clean it again. And getting home to a nice warm shower and a bed where I can kind of sprawl and just be dry. I'd love to bring a little tarp roof or something like that, but just really no space right now until I put a rack on the back of the Sea-doo. Well, I'm just gonna listen to the rain now that I'm tucked into bed. Still feel a little bit wet and clammy, but that'll go away soon now I'm in here. Ugh. Absolutely exhausted. I was up at 6:30 this morning. It'll have to be another early day tomorrow, so until then, I'll see you tomorrow. 6 a.m. and the day is half over. Time to get to work. I did manage to get some more digging done, but that rain was just relentless. And then, something I probably should have expected, the water came up. Something about me and floods. I was watching the water upriver and it wasn't coming up, it was just behaving itself like it should. I even was expecting some low water coming out of the dam, and I'm way upriver there. Not looking forward to another debris-filled float down to the bottom. And what do you know, all this rain locally starts going up a little bit, the water level, but the creeks locally just started dumping debris into the river like crazy. So it's not a constant supply like last time, but we are about to get just a little stick going by. But there's like these massive flotillas of logs and just giant debris, and you hear them kind of crunching and breaking branches, rolling over gravel bars in the middle of the river. And I know that this thing's pretty susceptible to getting stuff sucked up the intake, so I packed up and I got out of there. Like I said, I was a ways up, so I wasn't looking forward to just floating down. I managed to keep it on plane the whole time. I did suck up something in there, so for the same speed or the same throttle position, my RPM just bumped up about 300. And I know that from last time, if I just stopped to try to let it fall out, it may not fall out, at which point I don't have the power to get up on plane anymore. So it's a guaranteed float the entire way on maneuvering thrusters. And it's just nasty out today. Just big. Ha! Here's one coming up, you'll see it. Just giant logs rolling down the river, and I did not want to be out there with them all, so I kept her up on plane the whole way and made it. Didn't mean to get stuck in another one of these floods. It's not like I'm on good enough gold to justify risking my life or anything. Just out here having fun and going for a camping trip. There it is. Look at that thing. Just must be the side creeks just dumping material. Anyways, I'm gonna get this thing onto the trailer and time for a drive home and to dry out, because last night crawling into that tent soaking wet and waking up this morning with nothing dry to put on. For some reason I love it, but in limited quantities. Well, that's all for now. Hope you're enjoying my adventure slash misadventures. I'm still alive, so it's not really a misadventure. It was just a interesting story. A little bit nerve-wracking rolling down here. Seadoo's starting to get pulled into the river, so I better hop on there. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.